Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH Rebirth of Emperor Yang episode number 298 based on novel. So let's start. At night, under the light of thousands of stars, in a mountain forest, Xiao Yan sat in front of a bluestone. An old man was sitting opposite him. Not far away, he squatted on the ground with a beautiful posture. Two white jade hands held their delicate chin. His smart eyes glanced back and forth in front of them from time to time. When he looked at Xiao Yan, they could not help spitting in a low voice. For this, the two people in front of them regarded it as nothing. Ha ha, this girl is really a little unruly. Even her father can't help it. Don't take the previous thing to heart. Xiao Zhen looked at Xiao Yang sitting in front of him with a smile and said with a smile. The old man's smiling face is very different from his previous slightly amazing posture. His white hair looks like a Milky Way waterfall against the silver moon. A pair of deep eyes shine in the night. The dark pupils seem to see through the world, which makes people feel a sense of awe. Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang quickly smiled and shook his head and said, "The elder is serious." The old man nodded with a smile, but the little girl on the other side hummed with a reluctant face. If he dares to bully me, I'll tell my father and drive him out of the family." As soon as he said this, Xiao Yang was silent for a while. He looked at Xiao Zhen opposite, and his eyes showed a strange color. The girl was too arrogant. Although she had a good cultivation talent, her temper was a little too much. Don't worry. Although the patriarch is used to her, she hasn't reached that level. It's reasonable for this girl to be taught a lesson if she goes too far in the future. Xiao Zhen stroked his beard and smiled, but Xiao Yang almost choked at the moment he heard this. In his heart, he realized that this girl could be the daughter of Patriarch Xiao Yuheng. No wonder she would be so unruly and willful. Puff. Seeing the change of look on Xiao Yang's face, the girl couldn't help but puff a smile. She was a little pleased in her beautiful eyes. "Remember, my girl's name is Xiao Linga. If you dare to bully me again, let the clan leader deal with you." Xiao Linga raised her head and nuzzled her mouth at Xiao Yang, as if she was showing off, but Xiao Yang couldn't cry or laugh. Who would have thought that this girl who looked a little crazy at the moment was actually the daughter of the head of the Xiao clan? Xiao Zhen still looked warm and continued. "I came to see you today. In addition to meeting you, I also want to hear from you whether you want to join the Xiao family." Returning to his senses, Xiao Yang listened to Xiao Zhen's words, hesitated a little, glanced at Xiao Linga, who was also pretty and curious, smiled and said, "As long as the clan leader won't drive me out of the clan, I will always be a member of the Xiao clan." As soon as he said this, a fierce light burst out in the girl's beautiful eyes, but the old man smiled with satisfaction, nodded and said, "In that case, I can rest assured. If there is any need in the family in the future, I can put forward it to the patriarch and me. If I can meet it, I will not be stingy." Xiao Yang nodded respectfully. The former made a little meditation, and then continued. "As for Xiao Feng, I hope you don't mind. What you see is not his nature, but he takes his brother too seriously. It's just a duel. Xiao Yang won't mind." Hearing the speech, the old man couldn't help admiring for a while. Such a mind is absolutely top grade among the younger generation. When he thought about it, Xiao Zhen couldn't help turning his head again to look at the girl aside and jokingly said, "Linga, Xiao Yang's mind is worth imitating." Linga ignored the old man's ridicule, but made a face at Xiao Yang. Then he turned around and ignored the two people. Xiao Yang smiled and liked the slightly playful girl in front of him. "Besides, what do you think about the clan association?" Xiao Zhen's voice turned. At the same time, Linga also looked back slightly and looked at Xiao Yang with the rest of his eyes. It seemed that he was waiting for his reply. The elder can rest assured that the clan meeting is a family event, and Xiao Yang will not be absent. Xiao Yang smiled and put himself in the position of the Xiao family, which also made the smile on Xiao Zhen's face more and more strong. "Well, it's a good thing that you are willing to participate in the clan meeting, but before that, I must remind you. Xiao Yang is all ears." He respectfully hugged the old man in front of him. The latter also nodded and smiled, immediately frowned and said slowly, "Although you and Xiao Xian have joined the clan, only some elders led by the clan leader can really recognize you in the family. Some others have doubts about your identity. Therefore, some obstacles you will face in this clan meeting are not easy." Although Xiao Xian fought with Xiao Feng that day, he proved his strength to the whole family, but at this point, the elder couldn't help pausing. He looked at Xiao Yang in front of him for a few seconds. When he saw the latter, he didn't have any emotion. He sighed helplessly and continued to speak. "Alas! But it is an indisputable fact that he is still the Source Emperor. If you want to get the recognition of the people and block the mouths of those guys, you must prove it to them personally with your strength. Otherwise, even if the Patriarch comes forward, you may not be able to achieve some results." Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang was silent, nodded slightly, and kept these words in mind. In this way, even if he is willing to join the Xiao family and wants to get a place here, it is not easy after all. Since you want to prove it, use this clan meeting to tell you the answer. He took a deep breath, and a sharp light flashed in Xiao Yang's dark eyes. A hot mood surged in his chest. He drank soundlessly and stayed at the bottom of his heart for a long time. Since you are confident, I won't worry more. In addition, there is a place where I think you can go when you have time. There are things that can help you improve your strength." The old man nodded, and the subsequent words made Xiao Yang pick his eyebrows slightly. In Yuntian Pavilion, most of the family's martial arts and fighting skills are stored there. One volume is called Fire God Anger, which is called the Three God Anger of our Xiao family together with Wind God Anger and Thunder God Anger. This can be regarded as my greatest help to you to participate in the clan meeting. As soon as he said this, Xiao Yang was immediately enlightened. He had personal experience of the power of function anger. Naturally, he could understand the power of the fighting skill. I'm afraid he paid attention to the first-class fighting skill, which also belongs to the top-grade level. Since the so-called god of fire anger can be as famous as it, it's not difficult to imagine its power. If it can be practiced into god of fire anger, that may become another big card for him. At the top of the moon, Xiao Yang just got up slowly and talked with the old man in front of him for a long time. He also knew more about the Xiao family and more forces in the middle region. Although the night was over, he still looked refreshed. It was Xiao Linga, who looked sleepy. Where could he notice what they talked about? "Thank you for your advice today. Xiao Yang will leave now." Go. If you need anything, just come to me." The old man nodded with a smile. Xiao Yang answered and glanced at the sleepy Xiao Linga, who turned and walked quickly towards the road when he came. When Xiao Yang returned to the attic, he saw Xiao Xian waiting in the main hall. When they met, Xiao Yang naturally told all about his meeting with the elder this night. The latter nodded slightly when he heard about it. Obstruct. Hearing what Xiao Yang said, Xiao Xian nodded slightly, smiled and said slowly to Xiao Yang, "If there are still people in this family who have a grudge against you and me, there are only 3 people, and you need to pay special attention."
"Who?"
Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang immediately frowned and could be mentioned by Xiao Xian. "I'm afraid the status of these 3 people in the Xiao family is unusual. The 3 leaders of the cabinet elders, Xiao Qian, Xiao Jinghong and Xiao Dingtian, are in charge of the cabinet. Their position in the clan can no longer be matched except the clan head and the top 10 elders. The layout and arrangement of the clan meeting are planned by them. They care about you and me very much. If they can't participate in the clan meeting, it must be their handwriting. If so, isn't our willingness to participate in the clan association? Don't worry too much. Now the Guyuan formula is complete. As long as I can break through the Yuan zone within half a year, the pressure of the 3 of them will naturally be much less. Then, with the support of the Patriarch and the Elder, they can't be strong." Xiao Yang's voice didn't fall. Xiao Xian smiled slightly to appease him. However, Xiao Xian's words not only didn't make Xiao Yang feel relaxed, but made him feel more pressure in his heart. Although the former's words are light, the premise for them to participate in the clan association is that Xiao Xian must break through his cultivation within half a year. According to his current situation, how long it will take to break through the source sect is an unknown number. Once the means are extreme, Even if they can break through the source sect, I'm afraid it will have an irreparable impact on Xiao Xian's cultivation. The difficulty is conceivable. What is the identity of these 10 elders? Back to God, Xiao Yang set his goal on Xiao Xian's previous words. The 10 elders are composed of former cabinet elders, led by the big elders. Among the rest, you have only seen 3 elders. Xiao Mingyuan. Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang was a little surprised. Unexpectedly, Xiao Mingyuan still had this identity among the Xiao family. However, although the 10 elders are above the cabinet elders, they all exercise their own dictatorship and ignore the affairs within the clan. Naturally, they will not intervene. This time, if the 3 elders are not related to you and me, he can't intervene. The big elders favor the clan leader's side, but these alone are not enough. Xiao Xian shook his head slowly. He naturally understood Xiao Yang's meaning, but now, they can only rely on themselves. Any foreign aid may become the reason for the elders to scold them. Xiao Yang frowned and thought quickly at the bottom of his heart. In this way, it is inevitable for Xiao Xuanxiu to break through the source sect within half a year, otherwise the clan will be afraid to have no chance with them. Compared with the former, Xiao Xian seemed much calmer. Seeing Xiao Yang's slightly dignified expression, he smiled and said, "Don't worry, it's still some time before the clan meeting. Everything is still in time. Let's put this matter aside first. Before that, it's most important to go to Yuntian Pavilion to get Huashan anger." Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang nodded heavily. He was also quite excited about the fire god's anger. At this moment, Xiao Yang suddenly moved in his heart, as if he thought of something. His eyes narrowed slowly and said, "Yuntian Pavilion. As the library pavilion of the Xiao nationality, there should be a lot of danfang collected in it." Hihi, there are not only a lot. Looking at the 3 clans, the number of high-level danfang owned by the Xiao clan is no less than that of the 2 families combined. As long as it is danfang below level 8, they won't have anything that the Xiao clan doesn't have. Xiao Xian smiled faintly. Hearing this, Xiao Yang was a little surprised at the collection of the Xiao family. At the same time, his heart was also slightly moved. If so, maybe he didn't have to worry about the danfang he needed. The next day, on a spacious road, Xiao Yang walked carelessly and looked back from time to time. Across the street, he could see a large area of scattered pavilions, surrounded by endless mountains and forests. Although they were far apart, Xiao Yang could also clearly see some huge stone pagodas emerging from the mountains and forests. Standing in a mysterious position between the mountains and forests, it is not difficult to guess that it should be some kind of big array. At the same time, the children of the Xiao nationality who pass by from time to time on both sides of the road are also looking at the figure who caused a commotion in the family not long ago. Their faces are full of curiosity, and some people's eyes are full of hostility. It seems that not only the elders of the clan, but also these ordinary Xiao children, have been affected. Feeling the strange eyes around him, Xiao Yang couldn't help shrugging his shoulders and had no time to think about the mystery of the stone tower. As soon as his steps changed, Tianjue's step was displayed immediately. His body shape turned into a dark streamer. Before the Xiao children on both sides of the street came back, he had disappeared at the end of the street. A moment later, when Xiao Yang walked through the street all the way, until the surrounding became more and more empty, just in front of it, there was a huge attic. On the open space around, a huge attic stood towering. Xiao Yang looked up at the magnificent attic in front of him and shook his head in amazement. On the plaque of the huge attic, there are 3 ancient fonts of Yuntian Pavilion. The plaque is black, but it vaguely reflects a little golden light, revealing of vicissitudes and ancient mystery. Yuntian Pavilion, one of the most important places of the Xiao nationality, carries the ancient inheritance of the Xiao nationality for countless years. It is a place that everyone of the Xiao nationality yearns for. However, as the most important place of the Xiao family, the defense here seems too weak. At least, from the perspective of Xiao Yang, there is no one guarding outside the Yuntian Pavilion. Even the gate with many wear marks seems to be a little loose and may fall at any time. Standing upright in front of the door, Xiao Yang hesitated for a long time. Then he bowed respectfully to the pavilion in front of him, hugged his fist, took a breath, then raised his feet to the door and wanted to push the door of the attic open. And at this time. Stop, I'm an important place of the Xiao family. Can you be an outsider? In front of the gate of Yuntian Pavilion, just as Xiao Yang was about to raise his hand and back open the gate in front of him, behind him, there was a sudden sound of cold drink. There was a sense of arrogance in his dark words. Although he didn't see anyone, he could also judge that this guy must not be a good stubble. With a slight frown on his brow, Xiao Yang turned slowly, and his eyes even fell on a young man. They looked at each other, and then said faintly, "Who are you?" "Xiao Clan, Xiao Tian." The young man raised his chin slightly and said coldly, "9-star Source Emperor, good cultivation." With a slight nod, Xiao Yang swept his eyes up and down, smiled and gave an evaluation. Even if he took back his eyes, he turned around and pushed open the door of Yuntian Pavilion, and wanted to raise his feet and step into it. "Stop. Can't you understand what I'm saying? You're not allowed to enter here." Seeing that Xiao Yang paid no attention to what he said earlier, Xiao Tian's face sank immediately. At the same time, the soles of his feet stamped on the ground and his body immediately rushed forward. In the twinkling of an eye, he appeared behind Xiao Yang and grabbed it towards his shoulder. Buzz! At the moment when Xiao Tian's palm fell, Xiao Yang's shoulder was slightly shaken, and an surging force immediately swept out of his body. In an instant, Xiao Tian's body was shaken back. Xiao Yang stopped and took back the soles of his feet that wanted to fall in the pavilion, then turned around and looked at Xiao Tian, who was shaken out tens of feet behind him. The tone was slightly heavy. "I am not a sure people. You cannot judge whether you are qualified to enter the Heaven Pavilion, nor has the final say, but if you are looking for trouble, I will be happy to accompany you." As the voice fell, Xiao Yang stepped forward and slowly stepped out, covering the breath on the body surface. With the step forward, he improved step by step, and his dark eyes also fell on the latter. After what happened the day before yesterday, Xiao Yang now knows very well that since he wants to gain a foothold in the Xiao family, the most effective way is to constantly prove himself and defeat all refuters. The right to speak will naturally fall into his own hands. Today, Xiao Tian, you should make a good start. Feeling Xiao Yang's eyes, Xiao Tian couldn't help but feel a little chilly. Then he snorted coldly, his eyes suddenly turned cold, and a strong breath also spread out from his body. "Xiao Yang, I know you are Yuanzong, but others are afraid of you." "I'm not afraid. I heard that you defeated Xiao Chuhang. Today, let me see how capable you are." Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang couldn't help but pick his eyebrows. He couldn't help being curious about Xiao Chuhang's position in the Xiao family. Is this guy a measure of the strength of the younger generation of the Xiao family? Why does everyone mention him first before starting? As soon as the cry fell, Xiao Tian's body shook, and the red flame immediately gushed out of the pores above and below his whole body. In the twinkling of an eye, it covered his whole body. A hot temperature also made the air between heaven and earth suddenly dry. The skill of the road, anger and waves. When Xiao Tian changed the knots between his palms, in the void around his body, flame tents condensed in an instant, and then covered his body one after another. Surprisingly, under the blessing of these flame tents, what condensed on Xiao Tian was not what powerful fighting skills, but a strong and powerful energy breath. Under the blessing of this energy breath, Xiao Tian's cultivation actually crossed the boundary of Yuan Huang and reached the level of Yuanzong. The raging fire burned wildly on his body surface. Xiao Tian's own breath became more and more terrible with the condensation of flame tents. Even in the end, his breath was close to Sangxing Yuanzong. "It's a great way to improve your strength. It's really terrible." A burst of exclamation in his heart. Xiao Yang never thought that there would be such amazing great road skills in the world, which could make a strong man at the peak of Yuan Huang directly cross nearly 3 stars. The Da Dao skill is different from the ordinary fighting skill. It will become more and more powerful with the growth of the cultivator's own strength and the power of Da Dao. If the power of the Da Dao skill they are now using is equivalent to the Italian level fighting skill, then when Xiao Tian's strength fully grows in the future, the increase brought by the Da Dao skill will be unimaginable. "Xiao Yang, fight." The red flame filled Xiao Tian's eyes. The glass flame seemed to look at the gods of heaven and earth, with an unparalleled and rebellious breath, which made people feel sluggish. "I have to say that your skill is the most amazing I've ever seen, but unfortunately, the flame is useless to me. Arrogant man, the reason why Xiao Chuhang lost to you is his poor strength. Since his Fengshan anger failed to defeat you, let me establish the prestige of Xiao family with Huashan anger today. Hearing the words in Xiao Yang's mouth, Xiao Tian snorted coldly. When the words fell, his palms quickly lifted up, 10 fingers linked, and the sky flame immediately surged up. Behind him, a huge red virtual image also quickly condensed. Fire God anger. Seeing this, Xiao Yang couldn't help shaking his head and shrugged helplessly. Immediately, he slowly raised his right hand, spread out his palm and read a move. Then there was a puff, a lilac flame rising in the center of his palm. Almost at this moment, an invisible and strange breath swept away. In the already blazing void, it seemed as if a layer of flaming flame was burning, and the whole heaven and earth was almost dry and ready to burst. Buzz! At the moment of seeing the flame in Xiao Yang's palm, Xiao Tian's face stagnated instantaneously, and his eyes stared at the flame like a copper bell, revealing an unbelievable emotion. This is different fire? When the word strange fire was spit out, Xiao Tian only felt that his heart was suddenly shocked. The shock in his heart was unspeakable. Although he knew that Xiao Yang was the strong one of Yuanzhong, he didn't understand that the latter actually controlled the different fire. Now it's the most difficult force to capture in this piece of heaven and earth. Even if it's a different fire, see my god of fire angry. Although I was shocked, now I have to be on the line. Vulcan's anger has become. If I stop at this time, what's the difference between running away? Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang smiled and immediately stamped the ground with the soles of his feet. Suddenly, the fierce and domineering golden light suddenly filled up, and in the twinkling of an eye, it condensed into a King Kong giant. The purple flame in his palm burst out, turned into a purple fire in the sky, and quickly shrouded over the golden body. The giant elephant is determined. When it is used by Xiao Yang today, it is just a thought. Looking at the fire god's anger coming face to face with a raging flame, Xiao Yang stepped forward and shook his huge palm out of thin air. The purple flame immediately condensed in the palm and wrapped the whole fist. It was no longer mixed with any fighting skills, that is, he simply relied on the power of different fire to blast a fist forward. Bang! When the two collided, the terrible power contained in the fist suddenly broke out, and the raging purple fire immediately poured out like a mountain torrent and tsunami. Unexpectedly, it directly swallowed all the power of the god of fire's anger. Not only that, but also with the power of a fist, it scattered the god of fire's anger in just a few breaths. Bang! The god of fire's anger was broken, and Xiao Tian's body was uncontrollable. He was blown out by the rest of his strength. If Xiao Yang could not keep his hand here, he was afraid that this blow alone would be enough to hurt him. Just as Xiao Tian's body was retreated by Xiao Yang's fist, a slightly dry palm was put on his shoulder without warning. The share capital should fall on him, but it was easily dissolved by another force. Boy, among the Xiao people, you can't be presumptuous. As Xiao Tian's backward figure was stopped, a faint old voice came out from behind him. When Xiao Yang looked attentively, an old man in a brocade robe appeared behind Xiao Tian, but at the moment, his muddy old eyes were staring at him with fierce eyes. At the moment when the old man's words fell, an invisible force swept over the golden body of Xiao Yang like a wave. In just a moment, the giant elephant was determined to fall apart, and Xiao Yang under it was exposed. Such a scene naturally made Xiao Yang feel a little shocked. The strength of the old man in front of him was really so terrible. With just one sentence, he broke his golden body, and listening to his words, he seemed to be their refuter. At this time, Xiao Tian, who was stabilized by the old man, also came back. The moment he turned his head, he saw the old man in the rear, and his face was quickly filled with surprise. "Grandpa, you're here. Well." The old man smiled at Xiao Tian and said slowly, "Be careful in the future. Although your power of the Great Road is very strong and you are not afraid of the common source, he is an exception because he is also a fire attribute." Hearing the speech, Xiao Tian nodded solemnly. After the fight just now, he also realized the horror of strange fire. Looking at the family, few of his peers, even those who are strong in the origin, can take over the attack just now. Moreover, they are as relaxed as Xiao Yang. It can be seen that strange fire suppresses ordinary flames. How terrible it is. At the same time, Xiao Yang opposite them was staring at them with empty eyes. No wonder the old man looked like that as soon as he appeared. It turned out to be Xiao Tian's grandfather. At the thought of this, Xiao Yang's heart suddenly sank, and he felt bad. If Xiao Tian alone could not prevent him from entering the Yun Tian pavilion, I'm afraid the old man would come forward, and everything is uncertain. You are Xiao Yang? Looking back, the old man looked at Xiao Yang, who had lost his golden body, and moved forward a little. At the next moment, his body shape appeared not far in front of Xiao Yang. A pair of turbid eyes looked at the latter up and down, and his look was indifferent. I am. In the face of the old man's terrible speed, Xiao Yang was also awe-inspiring. He bit his teeth, then stabilized his mind, arched his hands slightly respectfully towards the other party, and said slowly, "Hey, I wanted to take the opportunity to frighten Xiao Yang, but I didn't want the people in front of me to still look so calm." Seeing this, Rao was a little surprised because of the old man's rock heart, but few of the young generation he had seen could have such a heart, but even so, his own position is difficult to change. Your ancestor was exceptionally promoted to the cabinet elder by the clan leader. He must have told you a lot about the situation in the clan. He should also be familiar with the name Xiao Jinghong. As soon as the old man's voice fell, Xiao Yang's heart was suddenly tightened, and his face couldn't help changing slightly. Xiao Jinghong, I remember listening to Xiao Xian last night. One of the 3 cabinets in charge is also the biggest resistance for them to join the Xiao family. I didn't expect that he met him in just one night. Seeing the change of Xiao Yang's face, Xiao Jinghong smiled with satisfaction and continued. Xiao Yang, I won't talk about the rest of the nonsense. I just have one thing. Yuntian Pavilion is an important place of our Xiao family. Outsiders are not allowed to enter it. Although you have the blood of our Xiao family in your body, you have no right to enter it before you officially become a member of our Xiao family. Sure enough. With a frown, Xiao Yang whispered. At the same time, he couldn't help feeling a little helpless. The cabinet elder has a high status in the clan. Almost no one can manage except the clan leader. His words naturally sealed all the roads of Xiao Yang. If he can't enter Yuntian Pavilion today, he's afraid that he will have no chance in the future. So go back. Xiao Jinghong said faintly. He looked at Xiao Yang calmly. His eyes narrowed, as if he was waiting for his reaction. At this time, a thin voice with a bit of domineering sounded suddenly. Back to what back? Since you have come, of course, you have to go in and have a visit. You can't go away because of your word. Hearing the familiar voice, Xiao Yang couldn't help but brighten his eyes and looked around. If he did, he saw that not far from them at the moment, a charming figure was coming towards this side. His smart eyes were taken back from Xiao Jinghong, and then fell on the former. His smiling face seemed harmless to people and animals, but whenever Xiao Yang thinks about what happened yesterday evening, he doesn't dare to be careless about this girl. This man is Xiao Linga, who just handed him over yesterday. Seeing Xiao Linga, Rao, as an elder of the cabinet, could not help but frown. As soon as his eyes turned, he thought secretly in his heart. Hey, we meet again. Today you owe me a big favor. When she came to Xiao Yang, the girl still looked like yesterday and smiled at the former. In this regard, Xiao Yang also quickly bowed his hands and thanked. Looking at the girl, he knew that he might not have to worry about the next thing. Linga, no matter how arrogant you are on weekdays, Yuntian Pavilion has the rules of Yuntian Pavilion. Xiao Yang, as a foreigner, is not qualified to enter. Beside Xiao Jinghong, Xiao Tian quickly stepped forward and said in a low voice. Frowned and looked at his grandson. Xiao Jinghong opened his mouth slightly, but he couldn't speak. Then he looked at Xiao Yang opposite. Xiao Tian, is Xiao Yang a foreigner? It doesn't seem to be up to you. You. Besides, he can enter the Heaven Pavilion, and it's not up to you to has the final say. Hearing these 2 words again, Xiao Tian's face suddenly became iron blue. He hesitated for a moment. When he wanted to speak again, he was stopped by Xiao Jinghong. Linga, tell me, what's going on? Seeing this, Xiao Linga smiled and said. The elder sent an order to allow Xiao Yang to enter Yuntian Pavilion. No one can stop him. As soon as he said this, Xiao Jinghong nodded with an ugly face. Although he had guessed about the result, he was surprised to hear Xiao Linga explain it himself. Looking at this, the elder should have seen Xiao Yang. When Xiao Jinghong wanted to turn around, he suddenly turned back and looked forward again. He was suspicious. "Girl, you can't lie to me. Is this really what the elder said to you?" Hearing the speech, Xiao Linga's pretty face suddenly coagulated slightly, and then he hurried to take out a white jade card from Naji, on which the word Xiao was impressively written. "This is the jade plaque given to me by the elder. Why don't you have a look?" When saying this, the girl's throat rolled involuntarily. The next moment, when Xiao Jinghong wanted to raise his hand to take over the jade card, his eyes suddenly changed, and the action on his hands immediately stopped. Then he looked deeply at Xiao Yang and took him away from here regardless of Xiao Tian's insistence. "Grandpa, looking at the girl's behavior just now, it is clear that there is a ghost in her heart. As long as it is proved that the jade card is not owned by the elder, Xiao Yang. It's not necessary." On a wide street, Xiao Jinghong and Xiao Tian walked slowly. The turbid old eyes swept around the respectful young people. Hearing Xiao Tian's words, Xiao Jinghong shook his head slowly and said faintly. Hearing the speech, Xiao Tian couldn't help showing a suspicious color. Without asking, the former immediately opened his mouth and said, "The jade plate is really not owned by the elder. I already know this from her instant reaction when she heard what I said. However, she is not the one who can really stop us. Isn't it, Linga? Is that?" As soon as Xiao Jinghong said this, Xiao Tian seemed to understand something. Looking at the Xiao family, there were only a few who could make the cabinet retreat. In this regard, the former stopped explaining more, but stopped slowly. His turbid eyes fell on Xiao Tian again. As soon as his voice turned, he said, "Tiana, what do you think of the previous war with Xiao Yang?" Asked by Xiao Jinghong so suddenly, Xiao Tian was at a loss for a moment. When he returned to his mind, he said truthfully, "He is very strong. At least in terms of attributes, I can't be his opponent. Strange fire. It's terrible." Xiao Tian may have underestimated this kind of thing that only exists in rumors in the past, but his previous encounter with Xiao Yang made him fully understand the horror of different fire. Who is not afraid of the most powerful power between heaven and earth? What if we put aside the different fire? Xiao Jinghong nodded and said again. This time, Xiao Tian's face tightened, his eyebrows tightened, his eyes stared at the void in front of him, and the arrogant momentum shown by Xiao Yang reappeared in his mind. After more than 10 breaths, he said solemnly, "He must be the strongest of all the two-star source sects I have ever seen. If Xiao Chuhang is compared with it, I'm afraid he can't compare with it. Although I don't want to admit it, it's true. Because of his grandfather's relationship, although Xiao Tian doesn't like Xiao Yang, he doesn't have any quibbles about the facts he has experienced. If he loses, he will lose. Even if he quibbles, it doesn't make any sense." Hearing the speech, Xiao Jinghong raised his eyebrows slightly in surprise. He naturally knew his grandson's arrogance. Although his cultivation had never entered Yuanzong, he was not inferior to the 2-star Yuanzong even with his combat power. Few people can defeat him in today's clan, but he can have such a high evaluation of Xiao Yang who met for the first time. This is enough to see the arrogance of Xiao Yang's cultivation. When he thought about this, Xiao Jinghong couldn't help feeling a little curious about Xiao Yang. Although up to now, he would not recognize his identity as a member of the Xiao family, but with such a strong combat power alone, it was enough to impress him. Of course, whether Xiao Yang was qualified to join the clan or not, that's another question. At the same time, in front of Yuntian Pavilion, Xiao Linga also angrily took back the jade card he held tightly between the jade hands. He felt a sigh of relief in the bottom of his heart. At the same time, Mai Mao looked at Xiao Yang next to him again. His look turned and jokingly said, "Remember, you owe me." Xiao Yang smiled, and a joking color flashed in his dark eyes. He immediately looked positive and said, "Isn't the jade plate the property of the elder? If you want to say, it should be the favor of the elder." "How?" "Well, if you don't want to enter Yuntian Pavilion, you can think so. I'll call them back now. Hearing the speech, the girl suddenly turned coldly and wanted to leave. Xiao Yang was dumbfounded and hurriedly pulled one back, saying with a bitter smile, I admit defeat, Yuntian Pavilion. I must go in. What about human relations? The girl immediately smiled, and her pretty face was full of a successful expression. She had suffered a loss from Xiao Yang the day before yesterday, and now she has come back. Human nature is yours. Is that always okay? She shook her head gently, and Xiao Yang was helpless. The girl remembered her revenge very well. Hearing this, the girl just smiled, then led the way forward and went straight to the gate of Yuntian Pavilion, while Xiao Yang hesitated in situ, glanced inexplicably in the sky above her head, and then bowed slightly in a certain direction, which followed closely. When they came to Yuntian Pavilion and looked at the half-open door, Xiao Yang slowly breathed a sigh of relief and relaxed a little. Well, you go in and remember the favor you owe me. The girl stopped, raised her hand and motioned Xiao Yang to go in. Why don't you go in? Xiao Yang's eyebrows were light and suspicious, but the girl shook her head and said, Yuntian Pavilion has rules. No one is allowed to enter unless permission is obtained or it is a grand event in the family. I see. Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang's eyes flashed slightly, and he couldn't help thinking of the scene when Xiao Tian shot. That guy did do it in a hurry. Now he was connected with Lingus words. He was afraid that he couldn't stop it after entering Yuntian Pavilion. After realizing this point, Xiao Yang no longer hesitated. When he opened the door in front of him, his steps stepped in. At the same time, his original bright vision suddenly darkened at the moment. It seemed that there was a special force sweeping over his body. Everything seemed to be completely exposed to this force. While Xiao Yang was secretly surprised, the voice of the girl outside the door came again. Remember my kindness. When you come out, I want you to do something for me. Okay, I promise you. In addition, turning his head and looking at the beautiful figure about to be isolated outside the door, Xiao Yang smiled slowly. You can't hide the jade card from Xiao Jinghong. The door of Yuntian Pavilion closed as soon as the words came out, and the expression on the girl's cheek outside the door suddenly solidified at the moment of hearing this. At the same time, in the back mountain of the Xiao nationality, the old man sitting in a circle smiled faintly and looked at a cup of tea placed on the flat bluestone in front of him. His eyes were full of strange charm. If you look carefully, you can find that the picture reflected by the tea in the cup is just outside the Yuntian Pavilion at the moment. In Yuntian Pavilion, at the moment when the door was closed, an ancient desolate breath came face to face, which made Xiao Yang concentrate quickly and dare not have any other thoughts. After several breaths, Xiao Yang took a deep breath and looked up at the scene in front of him. This video will end here.